Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, gonna be going over all the games for February 8th, 2021. Alright, if you're not a subscriber already, please hit that subscribe button. Help me and help this channel out. Because the more subscribers we get, the more we can do for this channel. So please help me out by hitting that subscribe button. Alright, other than that, let's get started with the games from February 8th of 2021. First game, Vancouver versus Toronto. Toronto won this one again against Vancouver 3-1. Vancouver is not on a good stretch right now, and I know a lot of the rumors going around saying their coach is in trouble. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the coach's fault. I think it's to do with more of some of the players on the team, but that's up for debate. Hard to really tell what's really causing the issue right now, because there's a lot of factors going into how bad they are playing right now. Alright, well anyways, Toronto's on a great stretch for Toronto fans. You have to be happy with how your team's playing. Alright, 6:38 into the first, Morgan Riley scores his second of the year unassisted. Then at 9:59 in the second period, at that point, Vancouver ties it 1-1. Elias Pettersson's fifth on the power play from Quinn Hughes and Brock Besser. Then the winning goal comes 9:22 into the third. Austin Matthews' 11th extends his goal streak to 8 games from Mitch Marner and Rasmus Sandin. That would be the game-winning goal. Then at 9:33 they add another one just to give them insurance to make it 3-1, and that would be the final score. Alexander Kerfoot's second from Ilya Mikheyev. So a little bit of bad news for Toronto fans as well. Wayne Simmonds is out for up to 6 weeks. He broke his wrist in the last game between these two. So that's unfortunate because he was actually playing, I think, as good as he's played since he left Philadelphia. So it's unfortunate to see him get injured, but hopefully he comes back and continues where he left off. This one, Vancouver actually dominated the shots, 32-19. Faceoffs were even, 50% each. Vancouver had the only power play goal. They were 1 for 4. Toronto was 0 for 2. Penalty minutes, 8 for Toronto, 4 for Vancouver. Hits were 31-21 in favor of Vancouver. Blocks, 12-8 in favor of Toronto. Giveaways, 13-9, 13 for Toronto. So Vancouver showed some signs of improvement. They didn't get the finish they were hoping for, but they definitely outplayed Toronto for the most part, other than the 1-minute stretch in the third period. But they did better in this game than they did last one. Holtby, 16 saves, 842 save percentage in the loss. And Frederik Andersen, 31 saves, 969 save percentage for the win. Alright, on to Edmonton versus Ottawa. So Edmonton fans have to be a little bit worried from the end of this game, but I'll get to that in a minute. 1:41 into the first period, Jujhar Khaira fought Austin Watson. 2 seconds later, Zach Kassian fought Eric Branson. Alright, we started this game with a whole lot of fun. Those were the only fights though. Alright, 5:33 into the second period, Ottawa takes the 1-0 lead. Evgeny Dadonov gets his second, unassisted. Then 15:11 of the second, Leon Draisaitl scores his 8th from Dominic Cahoon, and that would make it 1-1 at that point. Game-winning goal comes 6:09 into the third. Tyler Ennis scores his first of the year from William Lagesson and Leon Draisaitl. So Draisaitl with 2-point night, goal and an assist. 18:50 into the third, Josh Archibald gets his third of the year, empty netter from Connor McDavid. Archibald would then later on, with like a couple seconds left, miss an empty net shot. I thought that was kind of funny, but it is what it is. I mean, they were already winning at that point. It didn't even matter if he got it or not. The unfortunate thing, and the thing Oilers fans had to be worried about, is Draisaitl took a hit there right before that happened, and he looked like he was hurting a bit. Maybe he just got clipped with a stick. I didn't get to see a replay on it, but he looked uncomfortable, and he was grabbing at his face, or his head in general, and he looked really slow and just, I'd be worried. But hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully, if anything, it's just like a cut. He got clipped with a stick. I mean, there's no point when you're 3-1 with like 10 seconds left to sell a penalty at that point. So, I don't think it was that. So I think he definitely was a bit worse for wear at the end of it. Hopefully it's just something bruised. You'll be fine. Go out next game. But if they lose Draisaitl, that could be a big problem. Because he's had a great start to the year again. Not like we didn't expect that, but still a great start finally. Or not finally, but great start again. Alright, Edmonton outshot Ottawa 35-28. Face-offs, Edmonton won that category 52-48. Neither team scored on the power play. Edmonton was 0 for 4, Ottawa 0 for 2. Penalty minutes were 18 for Ottawa, 14 for Edmonton. Hits were 23-17 in favor of Edmonton. Blocks 17-11 in favor of Edmonton. Giveaways 14-13. Edmonton with 14. So Edmonton pretty much won every category. Other than penalty minutes. Yeah, they're about even on the power play. Mike Smith made his first start of the season for Edmonton. 27 saves, 964 save percentage for the win. He got kind of ticked off at one point. Who was it that rammed him? Someone on Ottawa rammed him, and towards the end of the game, and you could just see him. One of his guys grabbed the guy and had him down on the ice, and you just saw Mike Smith just hovering over him, wanting to punch that guy in the face so bad. And if there's one guy you don't want to piss off, it is definitely Mike Smith. He is not a slouch of a goalie. He will take a chunk of flesh off you if necessary. He'll pull the old Billy Smith and smack you from behind from in front of the net when you're behind the net with a stick. Seen him do it a couple times, so it doesn't feel good. Ask Gretzky about that one. Matt Murray for Ottawa had 32 saves, 941 save percentage for the loss. I mean, Murray's been playing better. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Ottawa's not a team that's going to be winning at this point. I don't think that's going to change. They'll get wins here and there, of course, but unfortunately, I mean, look at his numbers today. Great numbers. The last game, great numbers again. Just, they don't have the run support that teams like Edmonton can put up. So, it's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll get those young guys growing and doing better. Alright, on to Carolina versus Columbus. A lot of interesting things involving these two. The last game, the offside call, the NHL called a good goal, and then in the second intermission decided to say, oh, we had it wrong, it was a bad one. We'll rescind your penalty for challenging it, but we're not going to rescind the goal. I'm sure Columbus was sitting there like, the fudge is this? What? All sorts of confusing. I'm sure you can find tons of videos on YouTube to explain it in more detail, but it was just a horrible situation, and the NHL flubbed it awfully. Just awful. But there was other things that happened in this game I'll get to when we get to that point, but let's get started with the game. Columbus won this one 3-2 in regulation. 18-24 into the first, Scott Harrington gets his first of the year. First in seems like a while, but maybe he got one last year, I'm not sure. From Kevin Stenlund and Alexander Texier. Then at 6:19 of the second, Carolina ties it. Nino Niederreiter gets his fifth of the year unassisted. Then at 10:38 of the second, Cam Atkinson gets his third of the year shorthanded, which would make it 2-1 Columbus at that point. Then Brock McGinn at 12:46 of the second period gets his fourth of the year from Warren Foegele and Jordan Martinook. This point is 2-2 going into the third. Alright, let's see how this goes. 15-24 into the third, Jack Roslovic gets a great goal, his second of the year. It was a really good goal. Ryan Dzingel of Carolina stopped skating for literally 1 second, and that's all it took for Roslovic to break away from him and get the breakaway goal. And that was from Vladislav Gavrikov and Seth Jones. Roslovic has looked really good since he came over. Honestly, so has Laine. But a note on Laine, he got benched in the third period by John Tortorella. And it's probably because he did not cover one of the Carolina players on a goal against. And anybody who's been watching hockey for a long time knows Tortorella will bench you for that kind of crud. He does not take that crud. It doesn't matter if you're a star or not. So, Laine got his first taste of this. Let's see how he reacts next game, if he plays next game, or whenever he comes back. Alright, Carolina, 24-22, they outshot Columbus. Face-offs, they killed Columbus in the face-off dot, 62-38. This was one area that I thought that Carolina would start having issues with after trading away Dubois. They don't have another center prospect as good as Dubois, and Laine is a winger. I think Roslovic can play center, but he's definitely not as good in the face-off dot, I believe, than Dubois. So I figured this would start to take a hit, and then other areas would start taking some hits. But this one was one that I thought would start hurting it, and so far it has looked like it. Because Carolina outdid Columbus in the face-off dot, 62-38. Eesh. Both teams had 2 penalty minutes, and both were 0 for 1 on the power play. Hits were 21-19 in favor of Carolina. Blocks 22-12 in favor of Columbus. That's one area they definitely will never go down in, and barring getting rid of all their really good defenders, which I see no reason to do. Giveaways were 9-3, Columbus with 9. That's going to take off Tortorella right there. Now I'm going to have a fun time trying to say this goalie's name for Carolina. Nedeljkovic, or Nedeljkovic. Nedeljkovic. I'm going to go with that one. But he had 19 saves, 864 save percentage. Korpisalo for Columbus had 22 saves, 917 save percentage for the win. And we are on to the Battle of New York. New York Islanders versus New York Rangers. It was not a super exciting game, just to let you know. It was a very defensive game. But the Islanders won this one 2-0. No scoring in the first and second period. First goal came 11:15 into the third. Casey Zizekas got his second of the year from Matt Martin and Adam Pelech. 13:20 into the third, Matt Martin gets his first from Cal Clutterbuck and Matthew Barzal. Earlier in, I believe it was the third period or the second, Artemi Panarin had a breakaway. Great save by Varlamov. I don't think Panarin got the lift on the puck that he intended to get on the breakaway, but it did not go in, and it's not often you see someone like Panarin miss on a breakaway. Very rare. So, just a note there. So, the shots were even 30 each. The Rangers killed the Islanders in the faceoff dot, 61-39. Power plays were 0 for 1 for the Islanders, 0 for 3 for the Rangers, 6 penalty minutes for the Islanders, and 2 for the Rangers. Hits were 25 each. Blocks 19-14 in favor of the Rangers. Giveaways 12-6, Rangers with 12. Varlamov a 30 save shutout, and Shesterkin 28 saves for 933 save percentage. He didn't have a bad game, he just had a 3-minute period in the third period where he forgot to stop the puck twice. That's all it was, and that's all it took. Alright, on to Tampa Bay versus Nashville. Tampa won this one 4-1, but it truly was a 2-1 game. They got 2 empty netters at the end, which is fine. They still are goals. It doesn't matter there. They still count for the stats. Nobody's going to go looking through Steven Stamkos' career go, how many empty netters did he get? It doesn't matter. It's still a goal. I don't care what anybody says. The scoring started 9:07 into the first. Anthony Cirelli scored his third from Alex Killorn and Eric Chernak. I forgot to mention, 2:04 into the first, Luke Shen fought Matthew Olivier. It was an interesting fight. It was a good even fight. Olivier, at one point, there was an interesting part of the way he fought in this. He held up his arm and his elbow up to the side of his head, blocking the side of his head. You don't see that often in a hockey fight. Seeing a defense like that, that was an interesting move, I thought. So, just thought I'd say that, and I'll post a link to the video. It is an interesting move that he pulled there. I don't know if it was on purpose or just he put his arm up there and just so happened to keep it there. I don't know, but it was interesting. Alright, scoring continued into the second period, 13:02, Anthony Cirelli's fourth on the power play from Mikhail Sergachev and Pat Maroon. Then at 11:08 of the third, Dante Fabro for Nashville gets his first of the year on the power play from Matt Duchene, making a 2-1 goal that game at that point. 18:22 into the third, Blake Coleman scores his third empty netter. Then at 19:58, Steven Stamkos gets his 5th from Braden Point, also an empty netter. So a little bit of news for Nashville. They have lost Ryan Johansson for a week-to-week period. No exact timetable for his return with an upper body injury, which tells me most likely a concussion or concussion symptoms. They also did not have Matthias Ekholm in this game. He is out for, as his team said, baby reasons, which means he is having his second child. His wife is having their second child, so congrats to them. That's a very good reason to not play. So understandable there. At least he'll be back soon enough. Probably in about a week is my guess, but a good reason to miss at least. And it's not like Nashville is doing a whole lot right now, so it's not like he's missing much. Matt Duchene had an assist. Yay! Nashville fans are saying right now, he finally gets a point. Still no goals. He needs to get that goal. Alright, shots on goal, 35-23 in favor of Tampa. Face-offs, 53-47 in favor of Tampa. Power play, 1 for 3 for Tampa, 1 for 4 for Nashville. Penalty minutes, 15 for Tampa and 13 for Nashville. Hits were 14-10 in favor of Nashville. Blocks, 19-17 in favor of Nashville. And giveaways, 9-7. Nashville with 9. Curtis McElhinney, 22 saves for 957 save percentage for the win. He, at the end of the game, he had a really lucky save streak. He went across the crease to save a shot and then got stuck over there. And Nashville, I want to say they shot it 2 or 3 times at the empty net. Once it went straight across the crease. The other time it got blocked by a defender right in front. And then the other time, McElhinney smacked it away with his blocker. It was a good little sequence, honestly. It was pretty funny to watch, too. But McElhinney, first win of the year for him, so congratulations for that. Well, not first of his career, but first of the season, so it's always nice to have that first one. And it was a good game on his part, honestly. Rene for Nashville, 31 saves, 939 save percentage. Honestly, his best game of the year so far that he started. So, good to see him having a good game, because this is probably his last year. If not, then he's going to be on backup duty here or elsewhere, because I think he's a free agent after this year. I'll have to look that up, I can't remember. Alright, on to Phoenix versus St. Louis. I did it again, I said Phoenix. Arizona, good God. I'm never going to get used to this. I never will. Alright, Arizona won this one 4-3 in shootout, giving them a sweep of this 2-game series over St. Louis. And St. Louis had, what did I say? Oh no, actually this is like a 4-game. No, they won 3 of the 4 games that they played against St. Louis. And they have killed, I want to say it was like 18 straight St. Louis power plays, which is up until the O'Reilly goal in the first here. So that's pretty impressive. 2:41 in the first, Kyle Clifford fights John Hayden. It was a kind of lackluster fight, but there were more fights than Clifford. I mean, there were more punches thrown than Clifford's fight with Ryan Getzlaf earlier in the season. So this one was a true fighting major, at least, kind of. 13:29 into the first, Ryan O'Reilly scores his 4th on the power play from David Perron and Justin Falk. Then, at minute 48 into the second, Connor Garland gets his 5th from Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. That one was an interesting goal because Keller shot it with a wide open gaping net. He hit it off the post. I think everybody on the net thought it went in. And then Connor Garland smacked it in from there because St. Louis for some reason stopped playing. So that gave him the goal because it did not go in on the initial shot by Keller. And then 8:11 into the second, David Perron with a really nice goal. His 5th of the year from Ivan Barbashev and Ryan O'Reilly. Caught the goalie out of position and just snuck it in. 11:36 into the second, Christian Dvorak scores his 7th on the power play from Nick Schmaltz and Jacob Chikrin. Then at 3:44, Ryan O'Reilly scores his 5th to give St. Louis a 3-2 lead in the third period from Mackenzie McEachern. Then 19:59, with only a second left, Clayton Keller scores his 4th of the year with a wide open net. Binnington was out of position on this one. More so it was a lucky bounce, honestly. Just bounced right to... How was that unassisted? I swear there was an assist on that. Because I've seen the video. There was definitely an assist on that. I want to say Connor Garland? How did I not write any assist down? Maybe they didn't have the assist down when I wrote it down before I saw the video. But anyways, Clayton Keller gets that one. Sends it to overtime. No scoring overtime. Shootout. Christian Dvorak scores the shootout winning goal to give... I almost called him Phoenix again. Arizona the win. St. Louis outshot Arizona 42-26 in this game. Faceoffs were 55-45 in favor of Arizona. Arizona 2 for 4 on the power play. St. Louis 1 for 4. Opponent minutes 15 each. Hits 22-21 in favor of Arizona. Blocks 28 blocks for St. Louis to 17 from Arizona. And both teams had 6 giveaways. Darcy Kemper 39 saves for a .929 save percentage. Had a heck of a game. Jordan Binnington 23 saves, .885 save percentage for the win. And there you have it. That's all the games for today. Other than that, there's no new teams on COVID protocol. I believe only a couple of New Jersey players and a Minnesota player, I want to say, were added to COVID protocol list. Is that how old that was? Yeah. So, there you have it. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, share. If you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're watching this, thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. And I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.